right, fellow Americans, we are here for another bonus episode, joined by a guest on the couch to our right. So excuse us if we're a little skittish. We're not all, professional stage people that can perform in front of crowds. We've got an animal and a human on the couch over here watching us today. So you can introduce yourself. Cool. Hi. Hello. Awesome. It's been a little bit, and by a little bit, it's been a week. But it always feels like it's been a long time, for me at least.
Yeah, a week for you feels like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Has it been a week, or has it been 2 weeks?
No, it's been a week.
Yeah,
it's been a week. You're just crazy.
I am crazy. How's everyone doing today?
Really good.
Pretty good. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of separated today. We all worked today, but it was in different types of work today. I was busy dealing with the hell that was at the store, and you guys were, kicking your feet up, and
I was off at the store, but I was like bored out of my mind.
Yeah, sorry. Me and Squill were at the store,
wanting
to throw ourselves down a well. You guys were in a nice cozy, cushy office up wherever you were.
They gave us good food. We had candy. Didn't talk to a single customer. It was,
oh my god,
it was heaven.
Yeah, sounds like what heaven is like. Well, we're coming off of a big Strokes episode with Last Night that came out a couple days ago. And that episode's pretty goddamn funny. Me and Will were listening to it on the way here. Once it comes out, man, you gotta listen to it.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
I think it's some of our best work at the beginning. We were just kind of firing on all syllables there on that episode. And this week, I think we'll just jump right into it because it is a bonus episode, and our bonus episodes have been literally the same length as the regular episodes, if or anything like 10 or 5 minutes less. I do want to start off the show by saying, guys, please rate and review the show. We just don't say that enough, and it definitely does go a long way. So if you do listen, and you are someone that listens, which I know you guys are out there, because we had a massive uptick last week on listeners and downloads. Don't know what it was for. I think it was because of that post I posted about, what song was it? It was the one that got like 500 likes on it, on our page, just randomly. Someone with the red background. I forget, but I posted something on our Instagram. It was a clip of one of the songs, and it went like crazy, and then I think that's what spiked people checking our stuff out.
Was it Alone Together?
It was that. Yes, it was. Yeah. It was a solo for Alone Together. People blew up on it. I know you guys are listening, so please definitely give us a review. Rate us on there. That would be very appreciated. We love you guys for it. Early kisses for you from me. All right, guys. We are gonna be doing a Voidz and Shadow Puppets song again today. Last week we did a Julian and Alex song. I can't be bothered to go back and even remember which one we did last time first. Do you guys remember if we did the Julian or Alex first? To be honest, I think it was the Julian one. Wasn't it the last time Left and Right in the Dark and Hiding Tonight?
Yeah. So we did it in.
I think we did the Julian one first, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's start with the Shadow Puppets one first this time, guys. We are going to be doing Time Has Come Again by The Last Shadow Puppets. It's from their 2008 album, The Age of Understatement. It has a 15.3 million streams. That's literally about all I could find on it. These early Shadow Puppets and like Arctic Monkey stuff, they just have like no internet presence. And we got a lot of comments on Reddit, so they'll probably help us out with a little bit of the details. But that's what I got for the facts before we start. I was telling Will that I actually either have never heard this song before or I just haven't heard it in forever, but I was like pleasantly surprised with it.
Okay.
I think it's pretty... I did listen to the live version, but I can't imagine the recording version sounds that much different. The strings are still in it.
So you listened to this recently?
Yeah.
Okay. I
listened to because I do the shuffle thing to like pick out what songs we're doing every week.
Right.
And I do this little thing where I listen to them and I'm like, what's Manny gonna think of these every week? And I think you'll like this one. Both of these songs today are like kind of slow, but also pick up a little bit. They're both pretty similar in tone. Like they start slow and then they get a little bit upbeat, or they have a different element to it. I wonder if the fans can hear Brendan licking his arm for 20 minutes. Yeah, you guys can probably hear that. Anyway, we are going to be cutting here. We're going to give this thing a listen. Time Has Come Again by the Last Shadow Puppets. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, guys, that was Time Has Come Again. I'm just going to go right out and say it. That was a fucking beautiful surprise. And again, I listened to the live version. It does not sound that much different. If anything, the live and the recording are just as beautiful as the other. The only complaint I have is that it's too short. That's not a bad thing. I wanted more of it. Like if they could have repeated the strings part maybe one more time or found something to throw in there. But and if I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't think you guys will remember. But the beginning of the meeting place starts with the way that this one ends, but for some reason they're not next to each other on the track list. I don't think. But the same... Oh, I'm an idiot. They are. Meeting places before this one. Then it rolls into the beginning of this. But the ending of this sounds like I don't know.
I didn't catch that, yeah.
Yeah, but that's... God, I'm going to let you guys talk a little bit about it. Manny, you asked me what song it was. Was that for a reason? Was that because you were feeling it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I wanted to look up the lyrics, though. Because, with a lot of their songs, it's one of those things of the music itself kind of puts you in a trance, and it's hard to focus. And I felt like I missed half the song because I was just listening to how
I'm with you.
Yeah. So I wanted to pull it up because the little bits that I caught in there, lyric wise, were typical Alex. They were really, really good. So I kind of wanted to just quickly, and you're right, it's only 2 minutes and 21 seconds long, so it doesn't take long to quickly glance through the lyrics. It's literally just a couple lines, and then it just kind of goes over. But
before we get too into the lyrics, Alex, you guys, Miles Kane is the other guy that's in the band with Alex. He's the other younger guy that he's with, and it's crazy when you watch a video of them performing this, how young they look. Again, just imagine that this song was written with young Alex Turner, 2008. Alex Turner wrote these songs, his debut album, and then the things he's doing with Shadow Puppets with him and Miles Kane is ridiculous. Because they're both credited for writing this song. I'm curious, if they both have anything to do with how the orchestra is written. I wonder if they write kind of how that is, or if they're just just do your thing, and they probably give them an idea, and then, unless they both can write musical pieces.
It wouldn't shock me if they had a hand in it. They seem. At least Alex seems like that type. Yeah,
they're obviously into it. But, for me, the acoustic in this thing, it's catchy. It sounds like something that I'd love to kind of, when we're done with this, learn. And it doesn't sound like it's too hard. It's the same chords the whole time. You got a little riff in there. But then when those strings come in, and we've talked about this before, I forget what song it was for you, Manny, but one of these Shadow Puppet songs, it was the Dream Synopsis, when the strings really came in.
Oh,
you
yeah.
were oh, wow. Which for me, for this one, when they come in, everything, and his voice in the song is on an echo machine, obviously, because it sounds like he's in an empty stadium. Yeah. That's kind of how the live version sounds as well. What stood out the most to you guys on this?
Definitely the music. Like Manny said, it was kind of hard, not just because of how short it was. I was kind of rushing to look up the lyrics real quick. And when I scrolled down, the lyrics just cut off. I was like, oh crap, that's it. This is a short song. So really, the first half of the song went kind of quick, and it was my brain stuck to the music part of it. But what stuck out was that really simple, the no, not that piece. I really like that though.
That the chords part, or
no? Because there was 2 guitars playing. One was the dum 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 dum, and then the other one was the simple.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I like just the simple one. That was really nice.
Yeah.
That's what stuck out to me.
Well, what are your first impressions of that?
First impressions?
Yeah, that sounds like something that would have been right up your alley. That sounds like a mix to me of from Submarine and the Shadow Puppet stuff.
I really like it because it was short and sweet. I do really really wish there was more to it. But that's one that definitely I'm probably gonna put in my in a couple of seconds whenever I get a chance. Just look it up real quick and it. Hit that little plus Spotify has.
Yeah.
Which I hate they took it out. It's a plus now. I missed the little heart. I was I love it. I don't plus it. What?
That was it's not a heart anymore.
No, that was my complaint. One of my complaints with Spotify. One of the things that I liked with it. Because I don't know if I talked about it to both. I know I talked about it to you. I got Spotify for 6 months to make everyone shut the hell up about telling me that it's better. I was like, it's music is music. I'll try it on both. I literally had Spotify for 6 or 7 months. I made playlists on it, used it religiously. I got rid of Apple. My whole Apple thing last year was all fucked up because I didn't use it. So I used Spotify, and there are a few things that I liked better about it, and it was the heart thing. I like being able to look at albums and like see the songs that I heart. And now Apple has the star, and it's the same thing, but it actually works. But when I did they took away the hearts and they made it a plus. And then when you like update it, sometimes the hearts come back, but then they like disappear again. That's why you might think like you have them, but they like it's like a glitch, and they don't care enough to like fix it.
I'm sure if like enough people complain about it.
Dude, there's so many
It'll be like
rumors about it. There's so many people.
You guys remember when like we bullied the studios into changing Sonic? It could be the
Oh
same
my
thing.
god, yeah. Well, that was ridiculous.
It could be the same thing. We just have to bully Spotify.
I don't think enough people care though. Some people like,
I
don't know if that's like a hill most people.
It's a dumb problem to have. But anyway, I don't want to get into an Apple or Spotify thing because I could do a whole episode on that. That's how much of a fucking dumbass nerd I am and the shit that I care about. But things that stood out. So for you, it was the acoustic.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it was Alex's vocals. That part at the end when it was like echoing and it was with the violins and stuff. That I can't wait to go back and listen to that, like in my earbuds and on another speaker in the car. When I upgrade my speaker system in my car, it's gonna sound nice. I can't wait. Manny, what about you?
I mean, I kind of touched on it already, but like.
Is it the lyrics?
No, it was like at first the music was like just really, it was a nice sounding song. Like if that's the type of song that like if it was just the instrumental, I still would have listened to it. Mm-hmm. And then it's like midway through I kind of realized like, oh shit, like there are lyrics to this. I should probably pay attention like closer to
I
that.
gotcha.
But then like I'm like reading through this and like there's some really great like this is. Like you said, it's crazy that he wrote this at such a young age because these are great lyrics.
Yeah. Well, let's get. Talking about the lyrics time. You guys know what time it is. Dun, dun, dun. Will and Manny's lyric section, but it's really Will's lyric section. But Manny sometimes likes to add cool things like today's section. Let's do it. Yeah, a little end note on it.
Reading it.
Manny's got to go first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's been holding us in.
Age before beauty.
Oh, damn. Okay. It's true. You're a handsome guy. I'm fine with that.
So are you, Manny. Don't get it twisted.
Well, so there's a lot of good lines, and I'm sure will go over them more because this is more his thing. But like my favorite one though, and even just like reading the line, like it makes me sad. But it says, "Meet me beneath the moon. Don't go too soon." And then the very next line is, "She went too soon." I love that. That's such a good line.
Damn. All right, well.
I wonder if that's like a quote from something because like on Google, like the lyrics when you search it up on Google, that's like that line is the only one that's in quotes.
It's in quotes, yeah. It's on there on Spotify too. So
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder.
I agree though. That line is really beautiful. It's like it's like that bittersweet. I think for me, at first I thought. When I first read the lyrics, this was the first one that stuck out to me. Was without permission, his face became wet.
Another one.
At first, I thought that meant like she was kissing him, and I was like, oh. And then I read the next line where it says he thought that he learned how to not get upset, meaning like he started crying.
He started crying. Yeah.
It's not that sweet. It's all crap. So, but still, it's just like the way he words that. Without permission, his face became wet. It's just very genius.
Yeah.
Like it's very. Like, you could just say basic, like, he started crying, or tears started streaming, or anything else.
I've never heard anyone describe crying like that. So
face became wet. It's very rare people say like that.
Well, my favorite part specifically is, like, without permission, because that's usually what it is, right? Like, when something happens,
you really can't control it.
You can't control it. You didn't give yourself permission to cry, and so sometimes that's when it just comes out. So that's a really cool, like, imagery.
He says that, doesn't he say face became... That's another thing I feel like Alex has said. Doesn't he say something like that in Cornerstone? So, no, he says walls were wet.
The walls were wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, we say this like... And what's crazy, that there's so many Shadow Puppet songs I can't wait to still get to that are like, how the fuck did he write that? I just think he's just an incredibly underrated ballad writer, songwriter, performance of like an acoustic performer. Like I would go to a tour if it was literally just him and an acoustic guitar, and I would go to that concert and pay a shit ton of money to see it. Like between his voice and his vocals and his vocals and his writing ability, guitar playing, anything you watch him do, he can just make it sound amazing, even if it's only 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Which, listeners, if you haven't if you don't know the song, I just basically listened to it. I'm just gonna say for like the first time on a nice speaker ever, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you want a nice quick song to kind of vibe with, but also be sad with, I guess, because if you pay attention to the lyrics, they're kind of sad, like these guys touched on. You guys did touch on the pieces I was gonna talk about too, like she went too soon. Like it's just, and what's crazy, it's only like 10 lines of lyrics. It might be a little bit more, but it's still, you can like swipe down the lyrics by one swipe. It's a short song in every capacity, but it still hit you enough to where it didn't make it an issue that it was so short. You just wanted more from it. Like you just wanted like it to be longer. Will, you got anything else?
Obviously, you were right. They're saying it is, the song is related to The Meeting Place.
Okay.
Direct, because it's a sequel to the previous song, Meeting Places. I got this off of I just want to say the website, theageofunderstandment.com. It says it can be interpreted as a sequel to the previous song, The Meeting Place. The song is told from the same perspective as the previous song, but this time the man has grown older. He's probably an elderly man at this point, which kind of makes sense of like how like beautiful it is. Like you wouldn't expect a 20-year-old guy to write a song like this.
Yeah.
You expect someone with more experience and like who's been through a lot of crap and like just a little bit more experience to write something like this beautiful.
Damn.
But just crazy.
So I was right I was like, I know I'm not going crazy that sounded exactly like The Meeting Place.
Because he talks about it like that relationship part, but he goes into about it like how he feels instead of like him and the girl together. He does talk about the girl a little bit in this part, but he talks about more like how he feels. And then it goes on to say he wishes to himself that he was 17 again. So that's why they think like it's like an older man speaking, like a much older man version versus like The Meeting Place, because he's wishing he's 17. I mean, I guess you could be like 20 years old wishing you're 17 again, but it would just make more sense.
Yeah.
Being older.
Also, you realize you're wearing a Shadow Puppets shirt?
No.
Yeah, Bad Habits is a Shadow Puppets song.
Hold on, how did you not know that? How does that even? Where'd you
It's
get
probably
that shirt?
it's probably not a Shadow Puppets shirt.
Oh, okay.
It's just that's one of the Shadow Puppets like popular songs. So I just thought it was funny how we're talking about that. I thought he wore it because he knew the Shadow Puppets song I'm talking about.
Imagine just like accidentally like wearing
Yeah,
it without knowing.
Look at the tag. You're like, oh shit, what the
Right,
hell?
like it is.
I got this out of a Goodwill bin. But all right, guys. We have any comments before we move on for this one?
No, are we just jumping into ratings for this, or
Nope, comments.
We got comments for this. Yeah, let's
Of course
jump
we
into the
do.
comments.
We got the best fans in the world. Let's see. RSal99 said one of those songs that I come back to every now and then. Curly McCurris said, I fell in love with this song years ago before I had any idea of who the artists were, and it's been in my favorite song of all time playlist ever since. Nice. Cantomic66 said that whole album is filled with bangers. That is true. I cannot wait to get to some of these guys. D Junior said makes my face become wet. Okay. Intended Repercussion said it's one of those songs that serves as a reminder to me that Last Shadow Puppets has better quality than Arctic Monkeys.
Ooh.
Hot take.
I think it's beautiful. One of his best songs. Sad it didn't get played live in 2016. Wow. That might be the hottest of takes we've had on fan comments for these bonus episodes. That's
I think so.
That's something. Last Shadow Puppets only have 2 albums and a couple of EPs. I don't think it's fair to even compare them in the first place. But, no one's wrong with opinions.
Musically wise?
Maybe this means Last Shadow better quality than Arctic Monkeys. I don't think so. I don't agree.
I guess if you're just thinking about like the fact that they have like orchestras and stuff like that, like it does seem a bit more, what's the word, bigger, like grand, So if you're basing off something like that, then okay, like I can see that. But yeah, I agree. It's a little unfair to.
Yeah, but everyone's opinion is right. Opinions, they're correct, right?
Right.
We have to say that at least. NEZ Days said it's just instant tears whenever I hear it. Alex's voice is especially soft here and just makes it even more beautiful. That is true. Those are the we got 7 good comments on here. It's definitely a song that I just feel like not many people knew about, including myself, and hopefully this kind of helps everyone get into something here. Are you ready for rankings?
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone got one off the top of their head?
Who wants to go first this time?
It was a short and sweet song.
It's
kind of hard to rank like stuff like that. That's not kind of hard. It's just like I really wanted more.
Yeah.
But just based off of, like the first listen, I was just gonna say a solid 4.
Okay.
Okay, 4. I'm gonna say, because I really think like if I hear this song another one time at least, especially under the right settings, I'll enjoy it a lot more. So I'm gonna like add a little inflation to it. I'll say like a 4.3. Because I do think my gut feeling is like a 4.
That's true.
But I know if I hear it again, like, oh shit, like this is. I would even say, oh god, even probably like a 4.5. Like that's a
If your
beautiful
mind
song.
is saying 4.5, you gotta go with what you think is right.
Man.
So I'll let you like pause for a sec because I'll let you explain what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I gave The Meeting Place a 4. We all gave The Meeting Place a 4, I believe. Will, you gave it a 4.5. But like,
I do like the Meeting Place more, the song, but I feel like it has more to offer.
but this is one of those situations where, again, I wish I could go back because Meeting Place is a little bit longer. There's a little more meat to it. But I had the same effect listening to this song as I did that one. And I'm probably going to break my own rule and kind of rate this one higher than The Meeting Place, even though I think The Meeting Place is kind of a better song because there's more to it. But like that song just like said that.
Which one do you enjoy more? Like, take away which one you think is the better song. Which one do you think you enjoyed more?
The problem is I've been listening to Meeting Place for so many years. That's just that song. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get past that because right now I'm in like a trance on this one. It's like if you gave me the choice, I'd listen to this one right now instead.
Right.
So that's why it's really hard. I just think it's the Meeting Place gets a little repetitive. This one I think has over The Meeting Place is even though it's short, it still keeps it kind of fresh. Like, you have that recurring acoustic thing, but where he's going vocally, and then they have the violin part that comes in that changes the whole melody of the song to a whole different thing.
Right.
Whereas Meeting Place is the same, verse 1, verse 2, chorus 2, and then a little bit of a orchestra at the end and trumpets and stuff. So, like, The Meeting Place is a bigger, longer song. So that's why I'm struggling. My gut is telling me, like, right off the bat, I was going to give it a 4.3, but then I saw The Meeting Place and I saw they gave that a 4. But now, going back, like, if I were to rate The Meeting Place a little bit higher, but again, this is where we run into walls, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this one, my mind wants me to give it a 4.1, still over The
I was
Meeting
going to say,
Place.
that makes a little, because then it's right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 4.1.
It's going to be a 4.1. It's so good, and I feel like if I had more time, which for most of these songs I do, I can give it a more fair estimate, but because I haven't heard this one in so long or just never heard it before, it's too hard for me to give it any more. Definitely not any less. Like, it wouldn't be any less than a 4.
Yeah. I agree.
What are you choosing then?
I'm going to say 4.5 because I want to avoid like what I did with Miracle Aligner, where like I don't even remember what I gave for that, but that's like a 5 now.
You gave that a 4.5.
4.5? Mm-hmm. All right. So that's easily a 5. So I feel like this would be a similar thing of if I heard it a couple times.
We just should have done the point stuff in the beginning. It would have made things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But
fine.
either way, we're good.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to try to go back and...
Yeah.
What did you give it?
What, Miracle Line?
Did you get...
Oh,
no,
this
did you rate it yet?
Yeah,
I
you
give
get
it 4.
4.0.
4.0?
Yeah,
Okay.
4.0.
4 on the dot. All right, 4.1, 4.5, and 4. We've had some pretty good track records with Shadow Puppet songs. I don't think we've given a Shadow Puppet song a bad score yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So let's see what we're going to think about the Voidz this time.
Oh,
My
boy.
favorite time of the night of every time we do it, because
Weird
I'm always the one that makes them seem like they're Jesus. This week we're doing Pointlessness. It's been streamed 3.2 million, which, believe it or not, that's pretty small for their standards. It's from their 2018 Virtue album. They only have 2 LPs. This is from the second one, the most recent, 2018. And that's about all the info I have on that one. We have a shit ton we have 42 fan comments for that one.
Ooh. Okay.
So
now, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Pointless. Is it spelled? Like
it's spelled correctly.
Way? Okay,
yeah.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's no Z's in it.
How do you spell this?
Yeah, there's no Z's in it. It's all I can say is it's the same tempo. It's obviously a little bit longer, of course, as a Voidz song. What I mean by longer, though, it's not like
Like, it's a 7 minute
it's
song.
It's 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it doesn't. It's catchy enough where it's not. There's layers of it that come in that make you like interested, and you're like, oh, this is different. Like as it goes on. I personally think you guys are gonna like it, but I feel like
you always say
I know,
that.
I know.
You always just
I know,
stop.
but
like...
this one for sure, for the reason that it's kind of catchy. Julian's voice in it is very unique. He goes kind of what we were talking about. He goes certain routes with his like melody that makes the lyrics fun, and there's like a breakdown where instruments enter, and it makes it kind of a whole nother beast.
Once again, Jared is hyping the Voidz up.
I said stuff about the last one too before.
I'm just saying, but then like you'll go on like a tangent like this, and then I'll hear it, and then I'll be like, it's a 1.7.
So I'm not defending this one the way I defended some of the others. I'm because I learned my lesson.
Okay.
I'm done saying what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I just wanted to explain some things, just like I did with the last one.
Okay.
But let's just do what we're supposed to. Give it a
listen.
listen, and here we go. Pointlessness from the Voidz. All right, that was Pointlessness by the Voidz from their 2018 LP Virtue. Let's dig in, guys. It's din din time. It's Voidz din din time. Here we go. Will, what do you think?
I would say right off the bat, it reminded me of. Have you guys ever played like Call of Duty Zombies?
Yes.
It reminded me of the end when you die eventually, and then the levels end, and you're like the clown laughing, and it's like. I don't know if you guys remember that. But that's always been like ingrained in my brain.
Vaguely remember that. Yeah.
You could probably find like a little clip on YouTube, but that's what the intro. Like I guess it was like a synth or. However, that intro.
It's an organ, like it's a synth probably with like an organ effect on it. Yeah,
but that's exactly what it reminded me of. That and the zombies one, it's like a electric guitar playing. But that's what it was like literally the same exact sound. So I couldn't like get that out of my head. Mm-hmm. But it was really cool. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know if he's referencing that or like. I doubt
Call
it.
of Duty Zombies?
I doubt
Definitely
it.
Definitely not.
You never know.
No. I guess, but no, I don't know.
Or if that's just like anything, if it means anything, I don't know. But that's what it made me think of, and I was like, and he did it a couple times.
Yeah.
I just couldn't unhear it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's interesting. And it was very like just kind of like slow and weary and like dreary. But I guess that's what the meaning and like or like the take of the song was. The point of it is.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Manny?
I thought, I kind of know what you mean now by saying like it kind of like goes in like intervals. It just seems like different songs at different times. I do like that synthesizer organ. It kind of gave me vibes of like
Luigi's
Sculptures.
Mansion.
That actually is a great that's a good one.
Oh, you were gonna say Sculptures.
Sculptures of Any. Yeah, it's kind of like that similar. Like I was hoping that they keep going in like that darker direction, but they kind of switch it up and it goes back. But yeah, I will say that that's.
I'll take a better than you expected.
Yeah, that's better than I expected.
Okay,
yes,
I'll take
absolutely,
it. I'll take it. Cool. Now
you
win,
Jared. That was better than some of the other stuff. So.
All right. I'll give my thoughts now. Okay. So I already know the flaw with this song for me is the lyrics. They're kind of like meh.
Are there lyrics to this?
There is.
It sounded like he was just making noise most of the time.
There's lyrics, but like it's very repetitive. It's just about we'll talk about that when it's lyric time. But the biggest thing with it for me is it's so cool how the beginning, like you said, it starts kind of somber, and then like I said, the instruments come in, and then it kind of gives it a whole new like life, and then also his voice, the octave goes up. So he does the when I think about, then in the second voice he goes when I think about, like he does his like falsetto thing, and he goes from low to high when the instruments come in, but it still gives, he's saying the same shit if you look at the lyrics, just in a different octave, but it still makes it sound like it's a whole different like version of the song. And when we're talking about things that like stood out, at the beginning, all you were gonna think was, cool, we got the organ, we got the synth, we got Julian, but then when the drums came in, they fucking killed it on this song.
Right.
I think there's a drum solo at the end, and then you got guitar solos in it too. And at the beginning, I doubt you guys were thinking like you're gonna get any of that shit at the beginning until those drums really came in. But then there's that part, I don't know if you guys remember, like there was a synth part before the second verse started, and I don't even know how to replicate it to explain it to you, but it was just like brrr, brrr. Like it was like I just have to play it for you guys to know what I'm talking about. But that sound, the way they did the synth, because that sounded like a real synth to me. The beginning thing was an organ. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like the Haunted Mansion theme song, like like that shit. That's what it sounds like to me. But then the synth comes in, and I'll play it again for you guys later, and it just adds a whole nother layer to it. And I think it's on brand for this record. This whole record's this is the record that Curious was on, so it's very like technological, whereas Tyranny, the first one, which we haven't done a lot from. I think the only one we've done from Tyranny was Human Sadness so far. Okay. But that wasn't by choice. From now on, like, I've been doing the shuffling. I think next week we're getting back to a couple Tyranny songs, which are where most of my favorites come from. But Tyranny is more of a just crazy all instruments, like drums, guitar, bass type thing, whereas this album has a lot of synth and electronic stuff in it, whereas Tyranny has more of that stuff, but way more guitars and drums and stuff. Yeah. But for me, this song, it's, again, like Julian's ability to make melodies in a song. When he does, like, what's he say? When I think about, like, the way he sings that, when I think about, like, that part is so beautiful and catchy to me. Like, again, this is a melody song for me.
Yeah.
The music is amazing, and I feel like I say this every week, but it just goes to show you how much I love Julian. But if anyone else was singing that song, I don't know how it would be what it is with the way that's done. So if we're going to jump right into what stands out to me, like, I think it has to be the way his vocals are. Now, I know what you're saying about it's hard to understand him half the time, but that's just how he is in the Voidz.
Well, I think, like, that's like the only negative that I can really say with this song is that, like, it's hard to know what the message is, you know? And I'm definitely, like, a lyrics-heavy person. I like to know what it is that you're talking about. So I have such a hard time keeping up with what they're doing. Like, musically, like, a lot of this stuff is cool. So, like, that was one that I enjoyed. But, like, one of the things that stood out to me was, like, the lack of being able to, like, understand his lyrics.
Yeah.
So but then the other offshoot of that, like, of standing out is, like, you know, like, that organ was really cool. You don't typically see, like, organs and things like that in modern music anyway. So that was really cool.
And it still had, like, its own effect on it.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like a normal organ.
Yeah, it still was very much like a Voidz sounding organ. If I had to pick a sound, that would
like
be
that
it.
classic wedding sound.
Yeah, it was definitely played way down on the octaves, instead of, like, up here, like, and it definitely had an effect to it. So synths is what kind of that you mean, like, that's what stood out to you the most, that part of it.
Yeah, that, at least in terms of, like,
oh my guys, I'm sorry, my dog's shaking all over the place. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just in terms of, like, the positive, it would be that, like, the actual music itself. In terms of, like, a negative, which, you know, we haven't really touched on too much of, like, when things stand out, it's usually, like, a good thing. Sometimes things stand out because it's, like, it's bad or not. I don't want to say it's bad. It was just hard to keep up. So that was the other thing that, like, even, like, I tried to pull up the lyrics and then I saw, like, how repetitive it was. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to listen.
The lyrics are weak. I mean, we'll get into it with the lyrics, but the meaning is what the title is, Pointlessness. Like, when you read the lyrics.
That's fair.
For me, it's by far Julian's vocals, and I already kind of said that. He definitely carried kind of where he took his vocals to and the melody to. That's my opinion. The bass, too, I don't know if you guys heard. The bass is actually playing on the higher frets, and it's kind of following the vocals when it's playing. Like, when you're saying think about, the bass goes like up there, up here. So the bass was on point too, but you can only really hear it for the most part before the drums came in, like that first part of it. So I thought that was cool. But Julian kind of carries this for me. Will, what do you got? What stood out to you the most?
I would say mostly the music. I didn't really like the first, like, 20 seconds of the song, honestly, if I'm being honest. Like, where he's, like, talking really low. Cause I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't know. Some songs I kind of need them to, like, start off a certain way, and I didn't like the way this one started off at all. And I was like, I hope it gets better.
It was a bit of, like, a slow burn. Like, at first I was like, oh, but
yeah, like, I thought that's how the rest of the song was gonna be.
Yeah,
but it didn't. It got better. Like, when it didn't really go falsetto to me. It was more like in, like, his middle range, because his voice, I was like, I can't, I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's really high pitched, and then like what does it matter was like, yeah, he didn't do that. He didn't go that high. It was more like a.
Oh, you mean like selfless high?
Like in the
type?
middle. Yeah, it wasn't like a selfless high. Yeah, it was like more like in the middle. But I did like how you went from like the low to like that mid range. Whatever you would call that, and then. I would say just like towards that end where all the like the music starts coming in, like the drums and everything, it starts like building up. So that the whole build up towards the end is what really got me.
Cool.
Persuaded me like, all right, I kind of like this.
All right, and let's move on to Will's lyric section. Well, I guess everyone. I kind of all want to touch on this, even though they're so basic. What do we got?
That's the thing. Like I was looking through the lyrics and like I kind of zoned out and just stopped looking at them.
Yeah.
It's like.
It's a lot of what does it matter.
Yeah.
It just seems like nothing really like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like nothing about the lyrics of this song really stand out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
and that's okay. Like the thing is, it's literally fine for what the point of the song Pointlessness is for. Like he did a great job in my opinion with the melody. Very catchy. The instrumentals were great. It didn't need a crazy poetic like lyric sheet on it.
Yeah, I mean there's songs like that, right? Where like, you know, you think of like classic like summer songs, right? Like those songs are usually really catchy and really fun, but they're not deep.
Yeah.
So not everything has to have like this deep lyrical meaning. So like I wouldn't say that like detracts it necessarily. But yeah, in terms of like lyrics, there's just nothing.
It didn't really stick out to me. Yeah. I would say, and I don't want to say like, hey, no lyrics just stuck out to me. So instead of saying that, I would want to say like how the way the song made me feel, and I just want to say like this is one song I want to see live because I could say like I was saying I didn't like the very first like 10 seconds of it, give or take. I have to listen again. This is actually like, the first time I probably listened to the song, and I didn't like it at first, and I was like, oh man, this is how the rest of the song is gonna go. I'm not gonna like it at all. And then it kind of turned up towards like a little bit in the beginning, and then in the middle again with that little like solo, and then the end like it sounds like a bunch of like stuff coming together.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like this is a song I would really like to see live because I would probably like fucking fall in love with this band and like want to listen to all the rest of their music. So while the lyrics aren't very diverse, it's kind of like the same thing over and over, and he only says like 2 or 3 other things really. It just made me feel kind of like dreadful at first, but then like, oh shit, like my mind was melting, but like in a good way.
Yeah. It's like for me, I'm not for a lyrics person. I get why they'd be like, but for me, I wouldn't even pay attention to the lyrics if we weren't doing this podcast. Right. I like the way it sounds. I like the melody of it. It's catchy, and that's all that would have mattered, or all that does matter to me. But I know for some people there's people where the lyrics are important in the song, and I get that. But every time I like listen to these over, sometimes I'm like, hey, are we reaching? But I'm like, no, we're not, because like this is literally a podcast where we dissect these things and how we think. But one way that I kind of look at songs like this is when you look at the lyrics, it's I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready, but I'm ready, but I'm wasted. Like he might have just written this when he was wasted, and he was like, listen, it serves its purpose for what the song is. It's literally called Pointlessness. What's the point of everything? He was probably in a bad place like when he wrote it. And when you're thinking that way, that's all. I don't think about monologues and poetry in my head when I'm having a bad day. I think about the same stuff all day. I'm like, this is fucking pointless. I want to be out of here. Let's get out. Like, I need to get out of here. I need to go do something else. Like,
and I keep cycling over.
Yeah, I don't think Bohemian Rhapsody in my head whenever I'm having a crazy day. Like, it doesn't need to be that way. So it's always tough for me to judge a song off of lyrics because lyrics aren't super important to me. But I get for someone like Manny, like lyrics are big for you. For Will, I guess you're kind of in between. I think you're kind of like me where you, maybe I'm wrong, you tell me, where you lean more towards the melody. But I think you're more of like an in between, which is cool. We have 3 different types of people. To me, the melody is everything. And like melody and instrumentals, like that's everything for me. I could care less. They could put shit balls and then lyrics. I'd give 2 shits. Not really, because then that would be Mr. Bungle.
Oh, well, Mr. Bungle.
But that's an exaggeration. But like, I don't care for what that won't affect my kind of ranking with that to me. But I do get like I said in the beginning, that I know that it's the weakest part of the song is the lyrics, and that's okay. I think the title of the song says everything you kind of need to know about what's coming. Pointlessness. all I think about, what does it matter? I believe that you're going to be forgotten any day now, just like the others told you. I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready. Till the end of days, all I think about, what does it matter? Like, it's interesting where we didn't really touch on that. I believe that you're going to be forgotten any day now, just like the others told you. Who do you think he's talking to there?
I have no idea.
Say it again.
He says,
I believe.
He says, I believe that you're going to be forgotten any day now, just like the others told you. You know what? I think he's talking about himself.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah. Like, I think this is literally a song that was written when he was drunk and he was having just bad
looking
thoughts.
in a mirror, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that gives the lyrics a whole nother point of view, because you can imagine him in that spot, and you know what? Now that I'm
like,
deep,
what does it matter?
Now that I'm more
yeah.
deep diving it, think about what I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready means. What do you think that means?
Like,
we could be reaching, but that
it
sounds
could be
pretty
like very
dark.
dark and suicidal. Yeah,
exactly. Like that's how. Now that I'm like reading it all
like
the way
I think
through,
I'm wasted. Like, maybe I'm not in the right spot, but like, fuck it.
Yeah, we could be completely off. But if I'm reading it, that I think that does check out. I believe that you're gonna be forgotten any day now, just like the others told you. I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready. What else could that?
Yeah.
What else could that mean?
That's why, like, in the beginning, he was like really like low voice, and that's how it starts. I think I'm wasted, but
yeah,
like,
it's very somber.
Yeah.
What do you think, Manny? Not saying like, does that change? I'm just saying like, what do you think about that now that you kind of dissect what that means?
Yeah, that's definitely a interesting way to look at it. I want to touch back on like the whole argument of like lyrics and like the melody, because it's cool that like we're different in that aspect, because I relate to songs and music from the lyrics, because it's like, oh shit, okay, like yeah, I went through that too. And then like the melody and the actual music is just like a bonus, right? So I just want to say that it's impressive when you can write a song where it isn't lyrics heavy, or that you're not because those are heavy lyrics. I don't want to say that they're not, like that's it's a deep thing there, but there's not a lot of lyrics to dissect, right?
No, for sure.
So it's really hard to for someone like me to create a song and then have me be interested, even though there's not a lot of lyrics to dive into.
Yeah.
So in that respect, like I have to give it props.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do for someone that's really into lyrics.
Yep.
Oh crap! I'm sorry. I just realized something. I heard you said that. Oh, okay. With the lyrics, this is another thing Julian says. I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready. And then he flips it. I think I'm ready, but I'm wasted. It's like, He does it in a lot of his songs too, where he flips like the
yeah,
words
he did
around.
that in River of Brake Lights, when there's like timing is everything, is everything's time. I mean, like he does that a lot. Did that say anything more about? Did that confirm kind of what we were talking about just now?
Yeah, like definitely, like he's talking to like himself. Like, I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready.
He's like looking in a mirror, like looking at himself. Yeah.
Or like think about it, like if you're going out to like perform, I think I'm wasted, but I'm ready.
Oh, okay, that's another way too.
They said like he could be talking about like his artistic, like his freedom, or like his music that he has.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense too.
There's a lot of ways to interpret it.
Yeah, I think anyway is right, unless he said it outright what it means. But anyway, guys, I think it's time to get to fan comments. Are there any final thoughts we have on this one? No. What do you think about that drum solo? Drums
cool.
in there. Yeah,
it was cool. It was a cooler song than like some of the other stuff that I've seen them do. So yeah.
All right. So G Snazzle said, "When the drums kick in this song, takes me to another plane of existence. Vocals are so good too. I love Julian's falsetto there. The song has the crumbling end of the world feeling, with lyrics about how none of it ever mattered, which is certainly depressing but oddly beautiful." I can't even say some of these names. Sublicinate Carboloy. I don't even know, guys. I only like 4 or 5 Voidz songs, and this is one of them. Okay, nice. Pete the Skeet said, "That key change is the best moment in any Voidz song ever." Wow, that's a hot, heavy take right there. But the key change is great. I do love that. Definitely, I comment on that as well. Kit95 said, it reminds me of a Russian ballet. It plays in my head like angels and demons fighting for the miserable soul that feels as though it has no place on the world or anywhere else. Like trapped between heaven and hell, it's obscure but also calming. Nice. And then Hooligan387 commented on that, saying, wow, I love this comment. Thanks for sharing. Mr. Dr. Professor Spencer said, one of Julian's best vocal performances. Dude sings his heart out on this one. Someone also said here, Vincibility Frame, when I listened to the studio version, I couldn't care for it. I literally listened to it twice and forgot about it. I thought it was just dull. Then I heard a live version, and that was really life-changing. I now prefer it over Human Sadness by a lot, and that's the song that pops in my mind whenever I feel sad, which is often. We're sorry you feel sad all the time, man. We're here for you. That's what this is for. Hopefully this podcast can make you smile a little bit. Doug_Diablo says, Pointlessness showcases Julian singing so well. Beautiful song. Then one last big comment here. MXE Mech said, the first few dozen times I listened to it were during Virtue listening sessions. As such, I was typically fully saturated with the record, and this track was just a banal come down. I don't know what that means, but that's what he wrote. I didn't think it was all that moving. Then one day it popped up on shuffle when I was in a shower, and well, I had a good hard sing-along. I love it like that. I put it on specifically now, sometimes choosing it over Human Sadness when I'm in that mood. Oh, and the organs eerily remind me of Atom Heart Mother by Pink Floyd, one specific part. You know what's funny? Great comments, guys. Thank you all for those comments. We love you. There is a Voidz song that I'm excited to get to, because I'm curious if you guys also think that it sounds like Pink Floyd. Like, there's a Voidz song that I'm thinking of that literally just makes me think it's pulled out of the Pink Floyd album Animals. It literally sounds just like it. So I'm excited to get to that one. But great comments there. We're going to have to listen to the live version and see what that sounds like. I don't even think I've heard a live version of it.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah. It's time. Rankings time. What do we got?
I'll go first. I'll get my ranking first so you guys can think. That's what I was saying. Like, this song, when I was listening to it, and I'm glad that person said it too, because I'm like, I feel alone now. I was like, damn, like, this is one I'm gonna have to hear live, because at first I didn't like it, but like, I know the more I hear it and the more like I just give it a chance, it's gonna grow on me. And I really want to hear. I'm gonna look up on YouTube. We're gonna look up on YouTube or something the live version. Hopefully they have something of it. But I know, again, it's gonna be a song that it's gonna grow on me a little bit, and like off the first take, it's sometimes kind of hard to like give your all, your full like thoughts and feelings on it. Sometimes you have to hear it a second time. But honestly, off the first take, I was really thinking about it, and I get to another like solid 4. What I feel is gonna be
4 on the dot.
Yeah, it was in the 3 range, but just because how at the end it got like that little like build up,
that little boost for you.
Yeah. It gave it. I was going for like a 3.6, but then like that boost it comes, and like how Julian, his voice goes up in that key. I would say it's like in the 4 range.
Okay.
4.0.
What do you got, Manny?
This is a tough one. I've been trying to think. I really, I know I say this all the time, but I feel like it's one of those that maybe if I heard it a couple times, I'll like it more. So I kind of want to boost it, just because I feel like
we should probably say, if you do feel that way, give it a small boost. Not
like
nothing
what a
crazy.
Like my boost would only be like maybe 2.2.
Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, for sure.
Or like a 3.
Can't be a whole
most.
Notch higher.
Yeah, no, because then at that point, well, why aren't you just rating it that?
Yep.
So, oh man, I'm gonna say.
I can go first if you need me to.
No, I think I got. I'll go 3.6, because I feel like that's on the higher end of like some of the Voidz stuff that I've heard.
That's what you gave the Julian one last week.
Okay. Yeah, like I would say it's on par with that. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with that.
Are you sure? You're locking it in?
Yeah, it's solid. I feel like I need a little bit more time with it, but yeah, it was good. I'm pleasantly surprised, even though it's not like a lyrics heavy song. That's that's a big one for me. So,
what would have made it better for you? I was expecting this one to be a little bit higher, not like 4.5, but like definitely like 3.8, 3.9. I thought is where you were gonna be.
For who?
You.
Me? Yeah, I could easily see it being like a 3.9, a 4. I'm a little bit harsher on the Voidz. I gotta they gotta earn it, And this was definitely a better step in the direct. Like this is something that I would maybe in the right mindset would want to listen to, here and there. It's definitely not the type of song I would just like play when I'm like cleaning the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like,
it's a right mood.
Yeah,
song.
This is one of those songs of like you ever just like it's late at night, you're doing whatever, and then like you got your headphones on, you're like, oh, what was that one song? I only heard it. Damn, and then you search for it and you find it, and you end up liking it a lot more because you heard it at 1 a.m. You know what I mean?
I just picture you cleaning your house to it, and then you hear the lyrics. What does it matter? Like, fuck, why am I even cleaning?
Right? Why am I
crying,
cleaning?
yeah.
This is pointless. This is gonna get dirty again.
This is pointlessness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah. So I'm gonna stick with that. But I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yep. I'm gonna be giving this guy a 4.1. I very much enjoy the song, every piece of it, minus, if we deep dive into the lyrics, but I don't think about it that way. There's so many instances. I'm just always been like a sad song person, like sometimes, like of course a fucking emo kid at heart always, but like it's just like, it's not even because of that, it's just, I think it's a beautiful song, melody-wise, vocally, and that breakdown, like when the drums come in, the fact that it just turns it to a whole different song. When it starts with just like slow as shit, and then the drums come in, and it works so well with the drums, the synth and the drums, that it just makes me kind of exactly with the song before this one. When the violins come in, it turns that into a whole nother song. This one's the same thing for me. And you guys know I love my Julian falsetto. Like I love when he changes that octave and goes up there. So it's definitely a song that when I do listen to the Voidz, I can put it on at any time and vibe with it. That's just me though. But I do understand if I'm like up and active, or if I'm like doing something where I need to have energy to it, I understand it's not that. But if I'm thinking in the instances where this type of song is made for, it's beautiful. Like I could even relax to it because I don't really think of the lyrics that often. To me, if you take the lyrics out, how beautiful his voice is, the melody is, the instruments, that's all that matters to me. But that's just how like I hear songs like that. So I think it's one of my favorites. It just so happens to be that came on shuffle next. I think the next couple Voidz, because we're almost done the solo stuff. We're almost running out. So soon it's going to be only Voidz and Shadow Puppets, which I'm kind of excited for because there's a lot to get to. I think the next good bit, it's going to be very random and kind of probably draw a wedge in for me as well, so you guys don't see me giving Voidz stuff 3.8 and above every single week. The lowest one I gave a Voidz song so far is 3.8, which
one was that?
Curious and Leave It in My Dreams are both 3.8.
Okay.
Which is kind of nuts. I cannot believe I didn't give one of those a little bit higher than another. But
yeah,
we were only 4 weeks in back then, even though it really wasn't that long ago. But I think we kind of figured out the ranking section. I think the highest Voidz that Manny has given is a 3.6, if I'm not mistaken. I think that... No, Human Status was a 5. Human Status was a 5.
Yeah, that had to be a 5. There's no way.
Yeah, but all right, guys.
Peaked early on.
No, no.
Hopefully
peak.
not.
No peak.
I want to throw out 5s.
I think there's gonna be. There's still many of them that I want to just do right away, but I can't. Like
I hope that we find one that like you give like a 1. And I'm like,
well, that's what I'm really excited
that's a 5.
for. That's why I'm kind of excited to get past all the Julian and Alex solo stuff, so we can just focus on what the Voidz and Shadow Puppets have, because they just have so much. And I do think that's going to happen a couple times, which it already, in terms of things that I thought you would have liked versus not, it's been different. But anyway, guys, that was a good episode. That was a good bonus. Once again, I think it's going to be a little bit long, but I think for like the first time in a while, it's pretty even score-wise for both of these songs. I think they were both very good in their own ways, and they were both the same sort of slowish tempo that had a little bit of a rise kind of at the end in a different way, whether it was tempo or with instruments that came in. They both had the same style of thing where something came in later and turned it into something new, which I think is great. So great couple songs here with Pointlessness by the Voidz and Time Has Come Again by the Last Shadow Puppets. Both very beautiful, slower, in the right setting type of songs. We are going to be already at the song on Is This It When It Started coming up next week. And on the Arctic Monkeys, what are we at? I should know this. I should have this right in front of me eyes, but I don't. It's going to be Perhaps Vampires Is a Bit Strong. What's the whole song title? It's another long one. Do you know it?
I don't remember off the top. It's definitely, you had the first portion. I don't remember what the last part was.
It's, hang on. Oh, that's literally what it is. Perhaps Vampires Is a Bit Strong, but ... Oh,
I thought there was more to that.
No, that's what Google says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. I could have
sworn there was more to that.
I thought so too, but now I feel like I'm going crazy. But no, that's it.
Okay.
It would say the whole thing there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should. Now you guys know
Posers.
for sure. Yeah, you know for sure that the Arctic Monkeys debut album is not the one I listen to all the time. But yeah, Vampires Is a Bit Strong, perhaps, but ... And When It Started by The Strokes coming out next week. We'll be recording that here soon, and we are over halfway through the first season, guys. It has been a great time. I am extremely excited for season 2. I'm already looking forward to it. We will hopefully have new mics by then, so it'll sound completely different. But we love you guys. As always, we will talk to you guys soon. And Brendan's saying bye as well, and we will talk to you next week. Everyone give some kisses. Manny, kisses?
I don't give kisses.
Okay, Manny's not a kiss guy. I'll give you plenty. All right, love you guys. See ya. Hey guys, Jared here. Thank you for listening to the episode. You can find us at Karma and Tranquility on Instagram and Reddit, and Karma Tranquil on Twitter. Our link tree is posted in our description and bios for you to find everything we have to offer. We post a full episode every Wednesday and a bonus episode every Friday.